Okay. Now, let's hope that'll stay up. Hi, everyone. This is going to be just a short little check-in here to say goodbye to Montana. It's been a long trip through here. I've filled up my gas tank 4 times, I think, going through this state. And the gas is so expensive, it's already eaten up my whole monthly, um, my whole Social Security check is pretty much gone. I have less than $100 left for the rest of the month. So I have, I still have a little bit set aside now to hopefully, I don't know if I'll get all the way to Washington on it though. I might have to just wait it out. But whatever I have to do is what I gotta do. Oh, hi Lotus, how you doing? I'm just kind of like in my car, getting ready to go down. I found a place to park at this, actually a park, where I'm going to do a yoga class in the morning. I went to the Y, and they closed at 6 o'clock, so it's pretty early, I guess, because it's Sunday. But I was able to get a shower in, and now I'm just in my car. I found a place to park in the park where they're going to have the yoga class in the morning at 8:30, I think it is. So I hope I don't get harassed here. They might ask me to move. But I'm right at the park where they're going to have the actual class. I assume, I don't know. I hope it's not too cold. It's been getting cold here at night, so shoot, I don't know what I'm going to do when it starts getting really cold and like too cold to be in my car. The last time that happened, that was in, let me see. I left Washington on this trip. This is the second trip I did. Like the first one, I went to Idaho. Tomorrow I'll go through Idaho, but I ain't stopping there. I know everybody's gonna say, "Oh, go see Owen," but I ain't gonna do that. So, anyway, I will just shoot right through Idaho and get to Washington, because I have to get my plates registered. This car is not registered yet, and I already got a $224 ticket for it. After I got rear-ended, like, talk about add insult to injury. The damn cop gave me a ticket for not having my plates on, and I told him I was going there to get them taken care of, and I guess the guy should have done it for me in North Carolina, but he didn't, and but that was the first cop that actually pressed me for it, so I got to get back and get that taken care of. And it's getting colder, so I don't know what I'm gonna do when. But I'm just trying to put out into the universe to manifest something that will change my situation and hopefully get me out of this kind of weird situation that I'm in here now. So, I mean, it was 1 year ago on the 12th of September that I left Birch Bay, Washington, and started driving towards Florida to go meet up with Ariel, which I did do, and then I ended up staying a while in Austin, Texas, but that's where it got really cold. In Texas, it was down, the weather forecast said it was going to be 17 degrees for the next 3 days, and I was at a farmer's market, and a guy there offered to let me stay at his place for the next 3 days, and it ended up he let me stay for 5 days. It was really cold. That's when they were having snow down there in freaking Texas, which never has that. Okay, I have to put my glasses on to read. Yeah, I've been traveling a lot, just straight through to get back to Well, in the meantime, my daughter got pregnant over this time that I've been gone for this last year. So she's like halfway through her pregnancy now. Um, so it won't be due until like February, I guess. So, it's kind of, I was trying to sleep. Well, it wasn't last night. I guess it was the night before last. And I woke up. I didn't actually get to sleep, but all of a sudden this name came to me. And I thought, I didn't know if it was the guy I'm going to meet, like my significant other that I still have yet to meet. But it turned out this name came to me that would have been good. I told my daughter the name that came to me was Wade, because we both think it's a boy, but we don't know for sure. And the name that came to me was Wade, Wade. And I thought, well, that's kind of a cool name. And then I realized the name is W.A., her husband, her guy that she's not officially married to, but she's been with him for over 12 years. And his name is Walker, W.A., and her name is Delilah. My daughter's name is Delilah, so there's the W-A-D-E. Wade and Delilah, what a perfect name for a boy. So I hope they use that name. That would be cool. What do you think? Anybody got any other suggestions? Because I don't think she wants a really common name. But, I was joking around with saying, well, do you want it to be something like Rumpelstiltskin or something long, multi-syllable name? And she goes, oh, we love that name. I said, God, I hope you don't name any child that name. So we'll see I don't know if she has to ask Walker. I told her to ask him without telling him that it came to me, just to see, so he doesn't feel one way or the other, like he should agree with it or disagree with it or whatever. So I don't know, but that's kind of a cool name, I think, for it. So I like kind of combined names like that, because I had a friend, her name was Lucine, which I really liked, and it turned out she told me that her dad's name was Louis and her mom's name was Cynthia or Cindy, so they called her Lucine, and I thought that was a cool name, combining names like that. So anywho, I'm not probably going to stay on too late. It's because it's starting to get dark already, and I'm really super tired. I drove most of the day. I can't believe how big this state is. I've been driving 3 days through this state, so I just wanted to get one more live in while I'm in a different state, because I've been doing them in a row every state. So, and I usually do it on Sundays anyway. That's my favorite time to do it. And I just recently got T-Mobile did something weird. I don't know how this happened, but they changed my data plan and gave me more data for $10 less a month. And so now I have a little bit better reception as long as I have enough bars. If I only have 1 or 2 bars, it cuts me off, or I can't even get started, or I can't go very far with it. So, but I wanted to have you guys whoever, put in the comments, topics you would like to talk about, because I really don't know. I know a lot of stuff about a lot of things that you would think people would want to know about, but they don't. I realize that their consciousness is not there. They're not able to accept what I have to say. They'd rather listen to some other channels putting out disinformation or just entertainment that's really not educational, or that I think some of the things that I have to say, I realized, are hard for people to accept. They're just hard for them to wrap their head around some of these things that are going on in this world. And I'm not trying to scare people or make them any more afraid. I'm just trying to educate them, mostly about things they could do something about. And that's why I talk a lot about food, so people can decide to put whatever in their body based on knowledge of what's out there. And the food system is so poisoned. And so right now, that's why I started putting up some more videos of food, mostly of, meat, cheese, the dairy, and raw, if you can get preferred raw, and even eat the meat raw. I'm trying to eat it as raw as I possibly can to get the most nutrition out of it. And so if there's anything along those lines or whatever anybody wants to talk about, please put it in the comments, and then I'll, try to gear whatever I'm talking about in that direction. Or you could do it in the chat. But I just want to address things that people really want to know about, but I don't want to go off onto some tangents like other people are already covering a lot of the other stuff that I know about, but I just really don't choose not to talk about, and I don't even want to mention something because I don't want people being mad at me, but I don't want them to have expectations either. And but I do want to help to educate people. So I'm not going to stay on too much longer, but if there's anything right now you want to talk about, you can ask about it, and I'll go there for a little bit. Let me see if anyone who's saying anything. Yep, I'm having a grandbaby. I'm going to be first-time grandma. Finally. But then I can't really say finally because she's 31. That's pretty okay for age to have children. I was 40 when I had her, so that's too long to wait. I would never tell anybody to do that. I would steer them towards doing it younger, earlier, and I would have wished I would have had more, but I guess in a way, I don't want to, make it scary for my daughter bringing a child into this world, even though it's not the greatest world at the moment to be bringing children into, but hopefully it will get better. Okay, yeah, put the topics that you are interested in, and then I'll just kind of think about it and let it, whatever comes to me, talk about stuff. I know a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff, but I can talk to almost anybody about anything, but most of the times it's things that people do not want to hear about. They just don't want to go there, I guess, including my daughter. So anyhow, I'm feeling like I'm getting like the yearly detox symptoms that happen around this time that they're gonna blame the COVID on, and it's just natural. Like, you do it in the spring, you do it in the fall. If you're like a healthy person, you go through this all the time. It's natural. It's not like you're sick and you're dying, and all diseases are symptoms of toxic blood. And if you detoxify yourself, all these so-called diseases will go away, but unless they're like brought on by some other nano stuff or whatever the hell they're doing that is not natural or normal. And I have that too. So, you could see all my cuts from me detoxing out the heavy metals that people, sometimes assume that I'm some kind of a meth addict because of it, which I never even did that in my whole life. I've done other drugs and I've admitted to them, but I've never done that. And I haven't been doing drugs. So it's not from that. It's from this, it's the nanotech and the frequencies affecting me. Although being on the road in some of these places, there's not as many towers or the frequencies seem to be a little less on the highway because they're closer to the cities. You could see how dark it's starting to get now, and I'm just in the back of my car where I sleep. And this is my boudoir. Welcome to my boudoir. So, I hope everyone's feeling good and healthy and doing, creative things. Keep yourself occupied with other things, that make you feel good, that make you happy, that make you laugh. Do all that good stuff. Okay, I think I'm going to have to go off now because it's going to just get really dark. And I'm feeling a little bit nauseous because I drank so much water. I drink my salt water, and I probably drank a little bit too much. I mean, it's not going to hurt me or anything like that, but it's just like my stomach's so full. So, and everybody should be doing this. This is how you counter these so-called diseases. You put the 1/2 a teaspoon of Celtic sea salt is preferable, because the Himalayan is kind of iffy because they might be putting dyeing that and passing it off as whatever, something it's not. So I don't know. I got a big, is it 25 or 50 pound bucket from Amazon, and I just keep have a thing there, and I add it to my water. I usually put a teaspoon of the salt to a quart or a liter in my drinking water, and try to drink 3 of those a day. A lot of times I only get 2 in, but that's the best thing you could do for your body. It'll put you into a state of detox, but it'll keep you constantly detoxing. Because there's so much out there that we don't know how bad these things are for us. Vegetables are not good for you. If you know anything about this, like, people are starting to finally talk about this a little bit. I'm noticing it because this whole vegan diet thing is not healthy. It will, yes, it is the best. And it's usually white or grayish color, like a sort of tingy, like, looks dirty or something like that. And I forget how much it costs, but it's got to be cheaper that way to buy a big bucket of it than to buy individual little jars of it all the time. And so take that for what it's worth. Like, it's kind of hard for me to order things now, so I had to get it in a big quantity anyway, because I don't have an address to have things sent to. I mean, I have a friend, like, I had my license and stuff sent to her in Washington, and she's holding my stuff for me. But as far as getting things on the road, even though they have these Amazon lockers now, I'm not really in any one place long enough to wait there for 3 days or 4, whatever it takes to get it. So, shoot. My ankle bracelet is digging into there's shells on it, and it's digging into my leg. And so anyway, my cuts are like clearing up quite a bit from a couple of things I'm doing. I'm doing a couple different acids, and the main one is lactic acid. Then there's salicylic acid, which is like aspirin. But I notice when I take too much of that, I start to bleed. But I also, like, it thins your blood. So if I scratch myself or something, it just will pour right out. But that's okay. Then I'll make new blood. If I keep forgetting to tell people, if you want to see how far I go to be healthy, go to my very first video from when I did my first YouTube video. Just go to oldest first when you look on the list on my videos and see what I did. The very first video I put up there, already people are probably thinking I was crazy. Because it's leeches. I was using leeches. And remember, I'm a barber. Old-time barbers used to do this. They were like the medicine men back then. So I had leeches like pets, and I would just put them on, and they would like just suck the blood out for like a couple hours. One time it was 4 hours that they were on there. It was amazing. And then you just make new blood. So it's like getting a blood transfusion, and it's your own blood that you're making. And then it takes the toxicity out. And then you can actually, I did this too, where you can, you feed the the leeches, after they're done and they're so full of your blood, you give them turmeric and it makes them vomit. They throw up. It mixes the blood with their whatever the enzymes that come out, and you use it and do a facial with it. Because remember, I'm an esthetician too. I do skincare and makeup and all that kind of stuff, which I don't really do anymore except for my own self. But this is something I did for my own, and my God, it was the best facial ever. It tightens your pores so much, and it's pulling out all the toxins. It's just amazing. How many can you, I might even do that if I ever have a place again where I have my own salon. Can you imagine how much, like if I could attract the right kind of people? I mean, because that would be an expensive process to do, because it takes a really long time. And, like some people might be afraid to do it alone by themselves. I'm not, but I'm pretty courageous, I think, about most things. You learn to be, and especially you have to be adaptable in this situation like this. I'm not afraid of anybody bothering me or anything like that. Only twice in the whole time I've been gone, in the last 2 years of being in my car and everything, I've only had 2 instances where anything felt threatening. One time a guy opened the car. I was in somebody's yard, parked in their yard, and I could have stayed in the house, but I chose to stay in my own little sanctuary in my car. And somebody came thinking they were going to rob the car, I guess, to look and see what was in it. And they didn't realize somebody was in it. It was a tall black guy. And I think he was more scared than I was, because he didn't expect anybody to be there. And he just kind of like stopped in his tracks, and he turned around and like ran away. And then when I was in Spokane going back from Idaho, the first time I went, and I was in Spokane going in Washington, which was on the way back. And I ended up in the downtown area, and this like zombie came at me towards my car, like he was like crazed and everything. I just locked my door, and he just kind of went away. I guess I just willed him away. But he was pretty scary looking, and then that was the end of that. So that's the only 2 times I had anything threaten me. And people were always saying, oh, be careful, be safe. That is like putting a curse on somebody, to make them afraid, put you in a state of fear. I hate that stay safe thing. When people, it's like the last thing they say to you is stay safe. That's a friggin' curse. So please don't say that to me, anybody. I do not accept that as a loving thing. People are programmed to say this, and they don't realize what they're doing. They're actually cursing the person they care about or love, or, or think they're being kind, but they don't realize what they're doing. So try to find another word besides safe. Say stay happy, stay healthy, stay loving, stay a positive thing. Don't, that safe is a fear word, and it's been put out there on purpose. So I'm going to end on that, and I'm going to tell you to stay happy and loving and creative, and try to get out into nature as much as you can. I'm always going to keep reminding people to do this, because that's where it's at. Okay, well, I'm going to get ready for Betty here and start going down. And I'm going to try to call my daughter. I haven't talked to her for a few days now, so I need to connect with her, and then I will feel better and sleep better. So you have a good night too, everybody. And I don't know when I'll be on again. I'm not going to stay in. I'm going to just go right through Idaho, because they got some shit on me that's a bunch of bull that I don't deserve, and they have a warrant for me there, and it's the only place where they can do anything about it is actually there. So I just want to go straight through there, and then in Washington I'll do another live from Washington. So, or I might just do it on the outskirts of Idaho, but I don't want to be in Idaho, because it's so everything is weed, and it's such a strict place. And I hear Owen's not welcome there. His local neighbors are trying to get him out, I think. That's what I've been hearing from other people. So, okay, so much love to everyone. And I hope to be talking to you again soon. Leave your comments, and much love to y'all. Bye for now.